Look at where that grip points when I finish. It's off to the left side of my body. I'm not letting it come back and snap me in the side. Anytime you're hitting a pitch, I'm feeling more of that low swing technique of having the handle lead. Completely depends on face angle and ball position. So that's my little low tight spinner. Those were the same shots. The one that was here tumbled out an extra 30 feet. The one that I just did it here, just literally hit and spun immediately. People always ask, like, what's the difference between a chip, a pitch? Hey, when I have a 30-yard shot, can I still have that chipping motion and be able to hit that bump and run at a greater distance if that pins back, And so I'm gonna kind of help you guys understand that your setup really is the only thing that is the biggest change in everything. And here's what I mean. So come on over here, guys. Feel free to get right in front of me. I think this is the best perspective to be able to see setup changes. The high soft shot was when you put the ball forward and have the face more open. The lower, tighter shot, getting on the ground and running, is when you have the ball back with the face more shut, with the hands leading and more forward, right? So this is the setup right here with the lower shot. Here's the setup with the higher shot, right? The shaft is more perpendicular to me. On this one, it's more of a forward shaft lean. Now, when I'm hitting a little green side bump and run like we worked on yesterday, yes, I like to play the ball off my right armpit. I like the top of my pendulum, my sternum, right in front of the golf ball. One thing that's a constant, guys, whether I'm hitting a high one or a low one, watch my nose, watch my sternum. It's always very, very centered, very still. And that's one thing, Brian, I think, when you work on it, getting rid of even on these, that kind of push in both directions will make you more consistent. Think about this, guys. One of the basics of understanding how to have a consistent bottom of your swing is making sure that the top of your pendulum doesn't move, right? So when you look at that shot that I hit right there, you can see I had that cut of the lawn there where you can see the pinch of turf just past that. We talked about that low point always wanting to be ahead of the golf ball. That's the key. We want the low point to still descend past the ball. Well, it makes sense. If the bottom of my swing is here and I align my sternum right over the top of that and I keep it very still, well, guess what? The bottom of my swing will be past the golf ball. Now, here's the big thing, is the only way that you ruin the bottom of your swing when you have your sternum in the right spot and you're not moving from side to side. So here's the proper technique, right? The only way you ruin that is if you release this angle early. All right. The one thing that you want to know, for most of you who already released the golf club a little bit too much anyways, watch how I finish here. If I were to finish and hold this golf club in the middle here, put it out to the left side of my body, look at where that grip points when I finish. It's off to the left side of my body. I'm not letting it come back and snap me in the side. All right. So when you look at my technique and look at the way that I finish, that one came off real nice there. You can see, look at the handle. It's out left of me here, and it's not pointed back at me. A lot of us are finishing on this shot up here, and that's when the club head starts to pass your hands. The momentum of it continues to carry on, but the thing that I don't like about that is 100% that early release is going to start bottoming out too soon, and we either chunk it, stub it, or then blade it. I want you guys to know whether I'm hitting a little bump and run right here, just down in front of me here, that's landing just on the edge of the green, or I'm hitting one that's going 30 yards here and then running out to a back pin. The only thing that I'm changing is how much I take the club back. And I'm not using my arms to do that. I'm just turning my shoulders. What's the feeling of connection in chipping and pitching and these little shots we're hitting right here? Connection is still center of body and hands together. I'm making sure that that triangle that you see here stays together. One thing that allows me to be connected is I have pressure points. Back of my triceps are really pulled into the side of my pec right here, into the front, like I'm plugging in. And then I'm bringing my elbows together. I'm not doing that and getting tight. I'm doing that, I'm staying soft, I'm staying relaxed. I still have the appropriate grip pressure to be able to control the golf club. But I want you to see when I get in here, guys, look at my arms here. Watch how they narrow up real quickly once I get set. See this? I pull those together. Now watch, I leave them together. And when I leave them together, whenever my elbows stay together, it forces me to turn to move my hands. So that's where now I can feel my shoulders initiate my backswing and my arms aren't drifting off. Guys, I don't want to see this left arm break and bend. This happens a lot for a lot of us. when you watch that left arm, look at my left arm, how it extends and it stays out in front of me. So I want you guys to watch my finish. I'm really gonna hold my finish for all of you here. This is the little bump and run. I'm landing about 30, 40 feet in front of me. And look at that right there. You see how, watch this guys. If I were to not change anything and I turn my chest back, look at it. See how I'm right back in my setup? So I'm presetting impact position with my setup. I'm arriving there and I'm maintaining that angle. Now, let's go to the higher shot. The higher shot, where we put that ball a little more forward, the face is open, and the shaft is a little more perpendicular to me. We talked about this yesterday. Watch this. Now, when you see this, the club looks like it's past my hands. Now, I still am presetting my impact position with the shaft being perpendicular to me and the face being open. And guess what? At the point of contact, I am arriving right back there. But I am letting the club head swing a little bit on this one because I'm trying to deliver it with loft. I'm not trying to start with it here and then forward shaft lean that. That's gonna knife it out to the right there. I don't wanna do that. So, but I want you to see, I'm not flipping this. It's just that the momentum of the club here continues to go past me, not because I'm releasing it back here. I'm still keeping this wrist firm. That's why I'm doing the most with my setup. Guys, what are the majority of all of us doing? Early releasing. Now, for Mike and myself, who are plus handicaps, and we've been taught to be here our whole life, Mike remembers a period of time where I had to really work hard to feel like I actually threw the golf club. Guys, watch. This is me feeling like I throw the golf club. Ready? Like this. Okay? And see how nippy that came off right there with all that spin? If you would look at me at impact, I'd still probably almost have a fraction of forward shaft lean, maybe matching up perfectly right there. But I never have the club actually pass my hands. Now, that's because I've worked my whole life to not let it pass my hands. Now, for all of us who typically toss that club and cast it in transition more than others, I think it's important to understand what you personally need to feel. Okay, if that is the case, you cannot be somebody to think about trying to catch the club head up to your body. Now, what literally happens is this. I try to feel like I reduce the amount the club gets behind my hands. I try to take some hinge away. Because if I load this angle, well, guess what, guys? I've got to unload it, and that's hard to do. I try to feel my body really take this away so that it arrives with less forward shaft lean on the way down and I don't have to unload as much. So that always has helped me, feeling very dead hands in U shape on that shot, right? That helps me get that higher, softer flight that all three of those shots had. Now, the big thing I think you guys need to understand is all of you would be better off always feeling like you're swinging the handle of the golf club than not. Meaning, this is a tendency. So even though, yes, the club head and my body should all be staying centered and working together, that's always been a feeling of mine. You need to feel, for most of you, like you're still getting the handle moving, and you feeling that you're doing that will actually get it to match up and still get the low point past the ball. Watch this, guys. This is the higher, softer shot. And the low point of the swing, and Mike and I talk about it, still needs to be past the golf ball. A lot of us bounce into it here and then bounce up into the golf ball. I'm still hitting down past that golf ball. And you can see the grass is moving beyond that line, all right? And that's where I just want you guys to know what you personally have to feel. Now, chip and pitch. I don't think there's a tremendous difference other than maybe a little bit of setup and a little bit of just length of swing. A chip for me, yes, and this was an observation that Brian made that I thought was a good one. Green side, I will really throw that ball back there. You know, we talked about ball positions not relative to your feet. It's relative to your center. So this is the big mistake. If you think about it's relative to your feet, the guy thinks they're playing it back, playing it off their big toe right here. And the fact is it's still right in the middle of your stance because of a narrow stance, right? I'm back here. So when I hit the real low green side one, you know, I'll get that ball on my back shoulder, and look at that handle's way ahead of it, and that club then works up at an angle. And see, I can just pinch that thing perfectly at that nice contact, and it drives nice and low there. Well, I would tell you that the pitch would be a little bit more, not a very different technique, the same feeling, but I'm moving it maybe a little bit more forward up to the armpit as opposed to way back behind by the shoulder, more here. And then look at, It's not as far back, but I still have a little forward shaft lean, a little more turn, and there's more of a pitch right there where you saw that was more of a medium trajectory. That ball will get on a green into a back pin, still at least run out a little bit, all right? Anytime you're hitting a pitch, I'm feeling more of that low swing technique of having the handle lead. And I'm just letting you guys, whether you guys want it to run out more or deaden a little bit, completely depends on face angle and ball position. So the pitch would be more of like right chest, armpit, face more square, closed. Little softer one, more left chest, armpit, face a little more open. Still swing the handle on both for all of you, and that'll help the angle of attack, and the face angle and ball position will either help the ball run or deaden. And then of course you guys know the extremes, the bookends, the real high soft one, the real low running one. Hey, over here, really closed, really open, okay? This is a very common one on tour, very common one that I play a lot, where I'm setting up narrow, putting the ball just ahead, kind of under the logo on my shirt, opening the face, ready for this? So I'm setting up essentially to hit it a little higher, but I hit the low swing feeling. So I'm gonna have the bump and run feel here. Watch the flight on this, guys. Here's the bump and run feel. Did you see that thing? And watch see how much spin that thing had right there? That's my spinner. So that's my little low tight spinner. People always ask how to hit the low tight spinner. Here's how I'd phrase it. And my players are very good at this shot. They set up slightly with some high shot tendencies, with a couple low shot variables in there as well. The high ones are, this is kind of how you can mix and match them, right? Not to get too complicated for you guys, but I wanted you to see how that ball did what it just did right there. Because you saw, those were the same shots. The one that was here tumbled out an extra 30 feet. The one that I just did it here, just literally hit and spun immediately, right? I'm setting up with it still left of center. That's a high characteristic, right? It's like of the setup right there. Now I'm opening the face. One more thing that would be the characteristic of a high shot as well. But I'm not hitting it like the high shot with more turn and letting the club head catch up. I'm hitting this one feeling like I'm swinging the handle forward, and that angle of attack with that open face, think about a ping pong paddle. Starts at low, but it has a bunch of spin on it. A little bit forward there, okay? There's the face open. Watch me kind of swing the handle. Ooh, that was good. Came off perfect. And look at this thing. Yeah, you guys see how quickly that thing stops? Isn't that cool? That's a shot that everybody likes. The pros are really good at that. They have like that low spinner, no matter what. Even if that face is open, I take a very straight, normal golf swing, and I understand that ball's gonna go in the direction that I'm swinging, not in the direction of the club face. It only goes, by the way, guys, in the direction of the club face when it blades off the leading edge, because that's a flat surface, right? So if it was a putter I always talk about, and it's pointed over at you, Rick, and I'm swinging towards Kevin, but I'm pointing this at Rick, guess what? I swing at Kevin, it's still going to you, Rick. I open this face, and I point it over to Clark over there even, or even John way over here, and I swing to Kevin, it's going right here to Kevin, right over your head, Michael, behind him, right? So when you guys watch this, I'm kind of going at the corner of the wall over there. Look at this. I got this face up to the pine tree out there 30 yards right of this. But watch where I'm swinging. I'm going to swing right down the line towards this wall right here, and you're going to see, look where that ball's going to go. Right to the corner on the wall. Not bad there. All right? So that right there is important. That's a trust thing. That's a trust thing right there. You know, a lot of people see that open face and it's like, ugh, what do I do with that?
At Forzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.